Thanks to the support as a channel member, All Stars United SC. Oh, folks, I'm a broken man. I just need a little bit of good news. So in the last few days, we've obviously had the FM25 cancellation. We've absolutely bottled the Champions League. We had whatever I don't even know how to describe what happened with England yesterday. It's disastrous. And now we go into the one competition I've never been able to win. I feel like I've already hit rock bottom, and this is the start of my upward trajectory. A new arc begins here. If we lose again today, I might just start making like tiddlywinks videos instead of Football Manager ones, because this might not be for me anymore. Hello and welcome to Club 3, part 20 of Non-Lethal Legend. I'm Kevin. Coming up on today's episode, we are going to do the whole of the Club World Cup, which means I'm not going to show you any of the group games. We've got PSG, Dallas and Mamelodi Sundowns. I'm going to assume we get through that group because top two goes through. We might lose against PSG. We should absolutely beat the other two. We're interested in the business end of this competition, but it does take place over the summer, which means obviously we're going to see a lot of what would normally be in a summer transfer window episode in this video as well, including 3 new wonder kids arriving here at Manchester United. Now, I, in reality, signed these about a week and a half ago, so I don't remember anything about any of them. This is going to be as much of a treat for me as it is for you. So first up, we have Ernesto Ornelas, who's an 18-year-old Mexican full international already. 2 stars of current ability, 5 stars of potentially 6'2" as a central midfielder, a ball-winning central midfielder. He is a monster. Can also play centre-back and right-back. He is a fully fledged wonder kid. We've signed him from Barcelona, which is an interesting one, to be able to pick up someone with that kind of potential relatively cheap from Barcelona, especially because he played 9 games for Barcelona last year. That is a bit of a steal. And I expect him to become quite an important part of our midfield over the coming years. We've also got Andrea Pintaric, who's a 19-year-old Croatian international left back, can also play right back. 13 caps already for Croatia. Already 3 stars of current ability, 5-star potential. He went originally at Dynamo Zagreb, went to Al Ettifaq, and we've somehow managed to bring him in from there and not have to pay him an absolute fortune to do it. So the Saudi Arabian clubs starting to hoover up the young talent as well as the old men. But he comes in as a competitive left-back option for us. We've got a number of left-backs now, but he's obviously the one with the highest potential. So probably someone that we need to be looking to use within the first team squad next year with that kind of current ability at that age. And I mean, you know, I like a physical fullback. Look at the state of his physical attributes. Goodness me. And then we've also got Pascal Deli, who's a 19-year-old Swiss international, a 6'2" right back. My kind of guy, can also play centre back and left back. He's either footed as well, which is just beautiful to see. We've brought him in from Porto for £51 million, regular starter for Porto last year, and we'll again draft straight into our first team squad, not necessarily as a starter. We've got quite a lot of strength in depth in these fullback, centre-back positions now. We might have to trim the fat a little bit. Someone like Ayala, we're only really keeping him around because he's homegrown at club, but it might be time for him to move on. But we've got Everton Antonio and Gibbons at right back. We've got some strength in depth, and after all that, we've still got an absolute ton of money to spend as well, so there will likely be a few more transfers as the summer goes on. I don't have anything specific in mind. The squad is looking very strong everywhere, other than maybe central midfield, which is weird, because we've obviously got Ireland in there. We've got Larson. Larson is getting on a little bit. We've got Ricky Pilbro, who's just breaking through. It might just be that we need a little bit more strength in depth in midfield, so either we can go and find some good youngsters or go with the likes of Kuanov, Christian Phillip, Ornelas, who's just come in. We've got a lot of up-and-coming youngsters as well. There's no panic stations in any position. Unless we find an absolute superstar, players aren't coming in. Maybe he's going to be an absolute superstar who can be part of the squad this coming year. We spent a lot of money on him a few years ago. But yeah, that is the state of the squad, the state of the transfers. And now I guess we just... do we want to let Philip go out on loan to Middlesbrough? He's probably not ready, is he? League One player. I mean, if they want to pay his full salary, he can go out. But the priority for today is not transfer stuff. They don't want to pay the money from him. Then they're not getting him, are they? The priority for today is Club World Cup. Let's see how we get on against Paris Saint-Germain. I feel like I might need to do something about this. And although we don't necessarily need him, it's a bit of a disaster if they get him. We might have to sign Lamine Yamal to stop him going to Manchester City. Well, we won't be doing any more transfers this summer. Lamine Yamal is a Manchester United player for a world record £300 million fee. 150 million up front, 150 million on the good old Never Never. I didn't even really need him. I know we've got Maniz, but him signing for Manchester City when they're already causing us so many problems would just be a disaster. He is the best player in the world. Look at the state of him. That is very much a signing, an anti-competitive signing, because we couldn't let him go to City. Imagine him and Haaland together at City. It would be ever so problematic. So now we've got to find a way to fit him into the front three. It could mean Maniz going up front potentially. Maybe we should get him training to play centre forward if he's not already doing that. He's not. Right, get him training to play centre forward because he might have to move up front. Obviously, Elunga could potentially move back into midfield where we are a little bit light on strength in depth. It's what we signed Elunga to do initially. So he could potentially drop back into midfield. Let's get him training there. Back in that Mazzala role we trained him in when he first arrived. And then obviously on the other side, we've got Strobel, who was fantastic last season. But Yamal could play over there as well. I think it's fine. We've still got money. I mean, yes, we've just accumulated a big bunch of transfer debt doing that, but it was we didn't have any transfer debt going in. I've tried not to abuse the Never Never with Manchester United, and I think that was very much a situation where we had to. We could potentially still buy another player. We're probably not going to. That's absurd. That is absurd. But signing Lamine Yamal was absurd. And on top of all that, we lost against Paris Saint-Germain, so we now have to win the final two group games, or we're out of the Club World Cup, and this just becomes a transfer special. Quite an impressive one, because I signed someone for £300 million, but a transfer special all the same. I just realised I was listening through my front three, didn't even mention Hendricks here. He exists still. Oh my, we need to sell some players, don't we? Well, we cruised through the final two group games with an 8-0 win over FC Dallas. Moniz and Hendrick both having a lovely time, demonstrating that we didn't need to sign anyone fancy who can play in their position. And we then beat the Mamelodi Sundowns 15-1. Elunga getting 6 goals from starting up front. Pilbro with a 10 out of 10 hat-trick from central midfield as well. The standout performances in that one. But finishing second in our group led to us getting Barcelona in the next round. Luckily, we're better than them because they've just lost their star player. And once again, this was a match where it was wide players demonstrating that we didn't need to go out and sign Lamine Yamal. So we've got the first goal here. Strobel plays it across to Pilbro, and then Mainu with the shot, and Garnacho is there to nod in the header. Garnacho is actually just asked to leave the club. He wants a new challenge, so we might let Garnacho go, although losing a homegrown player is problematic. And then Strobel made it 2-0 to cap off the win with a comfortable finish off the left-hand side, which gets us past some tough opposition and a relatively, I was going to say a relatively easy quarterfinal. If we play Pumas, we won't. We'll be playing Manchester City. They could be about to ruin our day again. So Manchester City in the quarterfinals, and once again, we've had our wingers step up, although Ireland did brilliantly dispossessing Kobo there, the two best midfielders in the Premier League. Pilbro, though, playing in Everton Antonio, bursting forward from right back to make it 1-0 just after half-time. And then good old set pieces. Corner comes in from Strobel. Ireland gives it back to him, and then he finds Elunga, who lays it off to Maniz. It's 2-0, 2 goals in 5 minutes, and that is Manchester City dealt with. And we've done that without Lamine Yamal and also without Hendrick, because we've sold Hendrick. He's gone to Atletico for £81 million. We took a little bit of a loss on him, bought him in for 85 million. He was never really a starter for us. Started 16 games that season, 19 last season. scored consistently, but obviously with Yamal coming in, he drops down the pecking order. I think we cash in on him while he's still holding most of his original value. Obviously, that value has now gone up massively, but he's only got 3 goals for Brazil. He's 27 years old now, turns 28 this summer, and I think it was probably the right time to move him on. There's a couple of other players potentially on their way out of the club as well. We've had offers for Mainu, who wants to leave. He's 29 now, and lots of clubs in for him, so we've accepted all of those offers because he wants out. Ayala, although he's homegrown at club, probably isn't ever going to be good enough, so we've accepted an offer for him as well of 34.5 million, trying to get everybody else up to that kind of value as well, even with those two not having left yet. Our transfer budget is growing again. So if Mainu leaves, which he's looking likely to do, I think we probably go looking for a midfielder. I'm not sure who that midfielder will be. Should we go and get Kobo off of Manchester City after Ireland's just made him look like a silly goose? The important thing is we are still in the Club World Cup semi-final. We'll be against Juventus or Leipzig. Cross those fingers, boys and girls. So Juventus in the semi-final, and we've dealt with them as well. And once again, it is Garnacho. It is one of the wingers stepping up. And once again, it's from a corner. The in-swinger from Ireland. It falls to Mainu, who has the shot from range, falls to Garnacho. He finishes from just inside the penalty area. It's the only goal of the game. It's a game we absolutely dominated. We should have scored more. But as you can see, we did play quite the rotated side, including Levi Burrows playing on the right wing, because why on earth not? It's the Club World Cup. We have to rotate in the Club World Cup. But now it is the final against the only team that have beaten us in the competition, Paris Saint-Germain. If we go all the way back to the start of the tournament, we lost 1-0 against Paris Saint-Germain. And I'd quite like to not lose against them again. I mean, again, we were the better team that day. We can beat them. We can win this. We're going to win this. This is the team that's going to win me the Club World Cup and complete the start of the turnaround in my fortunes. It's Canizares in goal, a back four of Eketsi, Bordalas, Mamishi and Everton Antonio, Steve at the base of the midfield, Mainu and Ireland ahead of him. This is going to be Mainu's final game for the club as well. We've had the confirmation through for his transfer to Al Hilal, but we've delayed it for a week so he can play in this game because Larsson's injured, Pilbro's injured, and we needed Mainu, which does demonstrate that we need to replace him once he leaves as well. It's in Strobel on the left, Moniz on the right, Ilunga up front. For now, it's our strongest front three. Obviously, the unregistered Lamine Yamal will need to fit in there somehow. But not just yet. Let's get this team submitted and just cross everything, boys and girls. I need a win at the moment, and a win in the Club World Cup would be a fun one. I don't even know what the trophy looks like. I've never come close. Right, let's... there's Ilunga, like he's picked the ball up immediately, lays it out to Strobel. There's less than 2 minutes on the clock. Strobel plays it across to Ilunga, Ireland, to Moniz, and he can't squeeze it past the defender who got in there to make the block. It's going to be a corner from Strobel. This is a bright start to the game for us. Bordalas can't make proper contact with that. And it's cleared all the way back to Eketsi. If you're wondering why my voice sounds like it's going, A, I've got a little bit of a cold. B, I've already commentated on like 5 matches that I've not then included in this video. I never edit out as much as I'm editing out of this one, but I wanted to get the whole thing done in one video. So I've done lots of matches, and obviously if we'd have lost one of them, that would have been the one that I included as the match that goes into the episode. This one, I don't know if we're going to win it or lose it, because obviously it's the final, so it's definitely going in the video. But yeah, it's I could do without having to do all of this commentary when I've got a little bit of cruise flu going on. But it's going to be another in-swinging corner from Strobel. It falls to Ilunga, who, I mean, he's hit it very hard, but it's gone flying over the crossbar, nowhere near. And now Eketsi to Mainu, and Ilunga trying to get in behind the defenders again, but can't. And it comes to Everton Antonio, another one who's struggling a little bit for fitness. That's a good ball from Mainu. Moniz gets in behind Ilunga, can't apply the finish again. This is starting to look familiar. We're dominating matches, we're creating lots of chances, and we're just not scoring goals. Maybe letting Endrick go was a bad idea, but obviously he is being replaced in the squad by Yamal. So I suspect it'll work out for the best long term. Moniz, I expect to rotate with Ilunga and Van der Winden as striker to replace Endrick in that like 3 options up front. Obviously, Muniz will still get game time out on the left as well. Yamal can just as easily play on the left as the right. And some of those fringe wingers that we've got knocking around are probably going to be moving on because they're just never going to get anywhere near the team. We are building a super team here at Manchester United, one worthy of being the best club in the world, what some might say. Right, Ireland trying to get something moving vis-a-vis a counter-attack, and he's not able to. He is intercepted by PSG, who once again are proving to be quite frustrating for us. Steve at the base of the midfield lays it off to Memishi, and that's potentially a position we could strengthen, by the way, the holding midfield player. Maybe Steve isn't the elite level player that we need in that position, although to be fair, he is literally described as an elite defensive midfielder, so kind of is. And he plays it forward to Ireland now to Strobel, who had to adjust his run to receive it, but drills it across for Bruno Muniz, who tucks it away. The referee's got his finger in his ear. I mean, Strobel's the only one who could have been offside there. I don't think Muniz was close to offside. I've just seen what Donnarumma's wearing, and it's frankly ridiculous. Not just the number 99, but his silly striped pajama goalkeeper shirt. But yeah, there was never any question. That was onside, and it's 1-0 to Manchester United just before half-time, and Paris Saint-Germain are actually going to have to start trying now. They beat us with the odd goal against the run of play in the group stage to lead us with a much more difficult route through to the final than they got. But they've shown absolutely no ambition in this match. They've not had a shot on target yet, just the one shot overall. And it's our day at the moment. We would like to win this trophy, because if we win this, we can then go and win the Champions League, win the World Cup with England next summer, end of series, everybody's happy. And then we come up with a new plan for the next 6 months to get us through to FM26. That's a problem for future, Kev. Today's problem is winning the Club World Cup. We're taking things one step at a time. Right, Larson is injured, so Filieri's going to come on and play in midfield. Garnacho has had a good tournament, so he's going to come on. Della Torre has actually asked to leave, so he's now on the transfer list because, again, he's recognising that he's not going to get anywhere near this team with Yamal coming in, so he's going to be one of the fringe youngsters who we're probably going to move on just because we're not going to be able to give him enough game time to develop, so we may as well sell him while his stock is still relatively high. Filieri, though, is an example of Garnacho's got himself sent off. This might be his final competitive game in a Man United shirt as well, because if he's cost me this trophy, I'm done with him, the absolute wally. Right, we have got some other tired players. Steve is one of them, so Boras is going to come on for him. We're going to give Mainu his round of applause. Christian Phillip comes on in midfield, and Filieri, I think probably we might just leave it with this shape. If we switch those two around, so Eketsi gives us the width on that side. It's a little bit lopsided, but Filieri as a Mazzala can drift in there. Eketsi can help him. I think we do. I think we just leave it as is. What I was saying about Filieri is most of his game time for us so far has been coming on as a striker. He's an attacking midfielder naturally. He's another one who we're training to play central midfield, and will be part of that next generation with Filieri. He is Filieri with Philip, with some of the other youngsters we've got knocking around as we try and rebuild the Manchester United central midfield. But it looks like 10 men are going to hold on, because even when we went down to 10 men, PSG did not have a shot on target. They just did not seem interested at all in winning that trophy. Where's the Lego trophy? Oh, it's been a while. I've got the Lego trophy back because we finally, after all this time, won the Club World Cup. This has been, certainly in this new format, how long has this been a thing? Multiple versions of FM. I've never been able to win this stupid trophy, but there we have it. We are champions of the world. Manchester United, best team in world football, and we did it without even the best player in the world. He doesn't join up with us until after this match. He wasn't registered for this tournament, so that bodes well. We now need to go and win the Champions League, and then we can call that job done, I think. But that is, oh goodness me, it's been a long time coming, but we're finally there. There you go. Proof. I don't know if that's come through on the video because I'm probably in the way. Proof I've never done it before. I just got the Steve achievement for it. So there's the Steve achievement for winning the Club World Cup. I don't remember the last time I unlocked a Steve achievement. Goodness me. But there we have it. Club World Cup 1. Oh my word. Right, the plan from here. The rest of this transfer window will be in tomorrow's video, but it won't just be transfers tomorrow. We'll go all the way up to transfer deadline day. We'll play the first few matches. And we're still, although we now know FM25 is not happening, I'm still holding the trophy. I'm never letting this go. Although we know FM25 is now not coming, I think I'm getting quite into this new routine of how we're doing the videos. I'm not oblivious to how Football Manager content has changed over the last few years with those young upstarts and the guy in the hat. I'm not calling him young. The young upstarts and him, obviously doing a lot of faster paced videos that you've seen me try and do my version of, and it's been a little bit hit and miss, but I think we're almost stumbling into a hybrid version of the old style Let's Play content that I've done for years, but at a faster pace, getting through the seasons a little bit quicker. I mean, this season we've done in maybe 3 or 4 videos, and they've been largely focused on the big matches. And for me, I think it's quite a good balance, and it's something I'm going to continue to play around with over the remainder of FM24, the next 6 months plus. We've got an FM24, continue to tweak the format, continue to play around so that hopefully when the new Football Manager comes, hopefully FM26, hopefully later this year, we have a competitive way of playing Football Manager that can still keep the channel thriving as a Football Manager channel. But I think we probably need to, I feel like we need to tweak. Certainly after a year and a half of this game, we can't just keep doing Let's Play videos with 10 episodes a season and expect people to turn up and watch every day, because I can read numbers and I can see that people haven't been turning up every day to see that. And I think the tweaks we've made to this series compared to what was happening on the Wembley series, it's made a big positive impact. So we're going to continue tweaking, but first we need to win everything. Let's win everything. We're going to do that over the next few days. If you've enjoyed that video, we won it. I'm still holding it. If you've enjoyed that video, please make sure you leave a nice big thumbs up on there for me. Subscribe to the channel for daily Football Manager videos. And thank you very much for watching.